Good evening and welcome to our 110th annual camp meeting session for the South Carolina Conference. This year we come to you virtually because of the coronavirus pandemic. It's the first time in our history we've ever had to not have an on-site camp meeting in all those years. But we're blessed to have this technology, and some of the staff had the idea of going back and doing a legacy camp meeting. And I want to say thank you to Brother Eddie Wilson for his hard work and Samantha McCutcheon for her hard work to put this together for us for this week. Tonight you're going to hear from Brother H. Pagett Robinson, one of our former superintendents, and his message is going to be from 1965. His message will be audio because there's no known video presentation that we can find from his family or any of our archives or anything. So if anybody has one, we'd love to have it so we can get it digitized and share it with the family and share it with you too. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We look forward to what God's going to do through this service. Tonight the worship's going to be led by Pastor Randall Drake, Bishop Randall Drake now, and the choir. We invite you to worship with us for 1996.
From sin I cried, there to my heart was the blood applied. Glory to his name. Join us tonight and let us give an offering of praise tonight to the Lord Jesus Christ. Glory to his name.
Glory to his name.
Trust you enjoyed this time of worship together. We're now going to go into the preaching portion of our night. And as I said earlier, this is the audio portion, but we have some old pictures we're going to be scrolling while he's preaching tonight, since we don't have a video for him. And an important part of camp meeting is getting to see everybody. So we're going to show some pictures from past camp meetings, and hopefully you'll see yourself or somebody you know and have at least a little bit of a feel of a camp meeting, touching base with one another. We chose the term legacy for camp meeting because these men that you're going to hear this week are men who left a great legacy to the South Carolina Conference and the International Pentecostal Holiness Church. I heard somebody say one time that the difference between an inheritance and a legacy, an inheritance is what you leave, a legacy is who you leave. These men influenced my life and many people's lives. I actually grew up in the backyard until Pagett Robinson died. I grew up in his backyard and remember the day that he passed, and played with his daughters out in the yards there. We were back-to-back yards. He had a tremendous influence. As a matter of fact, my family would not even be in Lake City. My dad would not have been here, nor me, had it not been for Pagett Robinson bringing him from East Rockingham Church to be the bookkeeper here. So we have ties with this family that go way back. So I invite you now to enjoy this time of ministry of the Word from Brother H.P. Robinson.
I have a different feeling when I come to this church than any other. This is home. And I have a deep sense of belonging, and am moved with sentiment and deep feeling in it when I have the privilege of coming back home to worship with you. I am more conscious of it than you are, because you're here all the time. When I come back and see the ranks of the old prayer warriors becoming depleted more and more. And I had a sense of loss and emptiness this morning when I saw in memory's eye the faces of so many of the faithful saints who are not with us today. And I felt so empty and helpless. And then the thought occurred to me that though they're gone to that other country today, their prayers, many of them, are yet unanswered. And we are still here. Many of you, their children and grandchildren, are not saved, but their prayers are still waiting on you. They prayed for you 1,000 times, and God has not forgotten those prayers. And I think their spirits linger with us today. And then, in thinking of that, I rejoice because of the many fine young men, young ladies, that God has given us to fill vacancies. And the same deep dedication and consecration that they enjoyed, you can have. And I believe you will have. We must keep alive that spirit of real heartfelt religion that we inherited here at this place long ago. And I pray God that we will. Now, for a little while, I'd like to speak to you from a topic that occurred to me this morning. I was listening to a song being sung today. I'm nearer home than I was yesterday. And as I heard that song, I wrote down a topic for the morning sermon. We're nearer home than we were yesterday. And strangely enough, I found a text that fits that topic. About midnight, the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country. They cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day. That is taken from Acts, the 27th chapter, the 27th verse. The shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country. Historic voyages punctuate and decorate the pages of human achievement. In thinking of some of the historic voyages that we've remembered, I recall, of course, one of the ones that means so much to this country, and compared it to the voyage of Paul. Paul was on a voyage here from Palestine to Rome. And what a voyage that was. But I thought of others that punctuate our history, those that mean much to us as a nation and as a world. All of them opened up new avenues, discoveries, and achievement. The story of the voyage of Columbus is one of the thrilling stories of the past. You students of history know of the difficulty he encountered in trying to accomplish his lifelong wish and dream. How no one believed that the world was round. How they called him a fanatic and a dreamer and a fool. But in spite of all that, he finally set sail towards the west. Long days and long nights he plowed the uncharted Atlantic. And the shipmen on board the vessels with him threatened mutiny. They threatened to tie him and return home. They sailed on and on and on. And then when all hope was gone that they'd ever find land, a sailor looked overboard and saw a green twig floating on the sea. And they knew that land was ahead. They discovered America. That was a famous voyage. Glows from the pages of history. They started out for one thing and discovered another. Then there was the great Magellan, who left Portugal to find a water route to India. He left home with 280 men, and he sailed west. There were times when disease and starvation plagued his crew, but finally they touched the tip of South America, sailed through this channel, and ever since then it's been called the Straits of Magellan. He sailed on west to the Philippines. He never reached it home. In a little island, he died before he got back home, but his lieutenant steered the vessel on back home, and he accomplished what he started out to do, but he himself never reached his home port. We all know the sailing of the Pilgrim followed under persecution of the tyranny of the old world. They sought freedom to worship God against impossible odds. And in the face of circumstances that ordinary men and women could not have faced, they too sailed west for the land wherein they could find freedom to worship God. They found that land. They landed at Plymouth Rock, and the storms beat upon those cold shores of North America. But they landed, and against the frigid winters, the hostile Indians, disease and starvation, they established a home and a place of freedom to worship God. We've read of this voyage of Commodore Perry to the North Pole. That's one of the thrilling and exciting journeys of the past. He staffed his ship with seasoned men, hard men, some of them criminals that were on parole. And he sailed on into the land of the midnight sun. It is said in the log of this sailor that after they'd been in that land of no sun for days and days and days, the men on board his ship ceased to eat. They had games, they had books to read, they had musical instruments to play, but they laid them aside. They wouldn't read. They wouldn't eat. They took sick. They wouldn't talk. They wouldn't get out of bed. And the captain feared that all would be lost. He had a doctor on board, and then after days or long nights without the light of day, he asked the doctor, "Doctor, what's the matter with my men?" The doctor said, "It's this long and awful darkness." But they finally succeeded in discovering the North Pole. These are just a few of the outstanding voyages of history. But the most historic and world-shaking voyage on record today is the voyage of St. Paul to Rome. What a voyage, fraught with peril and danger and death. But in spite of all the elements could do and all the powers of the underworld could enforce and bring to bear upon this little band of 276 souls, all of Tarsus made a successful journey. There's something about this text this morning that is most timely and timeless. It is said that they set sail, and you know the story in the Acts of how Paul longed to go to Rome. That had been his desire for a number of years. He wanted to preach the gospel in the pagan capital of the world. And he prayed and he longed to go to Rome. But he was unable to buy a ticket. He had no money. Finally, God made the devil pay his fare. Get the gospel to Rome. But they put him on a merchant ship loaded with grain, a prisoner of Caesar. And they set sail. Paul begged them not to sail at the time they did, but they paid him no attention. They thought he was foolish. And they sailed out into the Mediterranean. And as they sailed for days and days, it seemed that all was going to be well and the journey would be peaceful and calm. But then the most dreaded storm of those ancient days rolls in the night. A storm called Euroclydon, feared by the sailors of the past. That little merchant ship was tossed like a leaf on the bosom of a raging sea. And days passed, no sun by day, no stars or moon by night, long that they'd ever be saved. 14 days and nights they'd seen no let up. 14 days and nights of rain, of wind, of gale beat that ship. They threw all the grain overboard. They threw all the extra luggage overboard and were ready to throw the prisoners overboard, kill them and throw them out into the sea. So fearful they were that they'd never make it. These sailors and the captain was doing all that he could to get to land, but all hope was gone. And then, on about the 14th morning, after the storm had broken on the sea, Paul called the captain to him and said, "Be of good care." They'd ceased to eat too. These men had lost their appetite in the teeth of this merciful gale. But Paul said to the man, "You need not fear. We're going to all make it safe to land if you just stay on board the ship." And the captain certainly thought Paul might have been delirious, talking such, making such wild prophecy in such terrible hour. But Paul said, "I know, because there stood by me this night the God, an angel of the God whose I am, and whom I serve," and said, "Fair enough, Paul. You're going to preach at Rome like you wanted to. Glory to God." That Paul said, "You can get your food out now and eat. We're going to make it." But things got worse. That's a strange thing about life. When the sun breaks through and it seems that hope springs anew in the human breast, that then things get worse and hope flees. But things got worse. And as they plowed on into the 14th night, darkness was so thick and black until they could not see their hand before their face. But somehow out there on that 14th night, about midnight, they were all awake. They were all pulling on the trappings and trying to guide the ship with the sails, just at the mercy of this terrible night storm. But all of a sudden, in the midst of that darkness, in the midst of that raging midnight hurricane, the Bible said the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country. How did they know it? How could they determine that they was near to some land? They couldn't see. They couldn't see 10 feet ahead. They had no lights. They were soaking wet. They were tired. They were hopeless. But on the crest of that devouring storm, these old long-bearded, salty sailors got together and they huddled together, and one of them said, "I feel that we're getting close to land." The other said, "Yes, there's something in this breeze that tells me that we're getting close to land." They had their ears tuned to something that they could not see. These men who had spent their life on the sea knew the voice of the night. They seemed to sense it. There was something inside of them. They couldn't see it. They couldn't hear it. There was no lighthouse on that shore. There was nobody out there yelling that you're getting near to land. But somehow at midnight, in the storm, they had a feeling. They just had a feeling that they would get close to land. Something on that breeze It just sounded just a little different. Something in the voice of that howling wind was just a little different. Something in the breath of that hurricane was just a little different. Something in the lap of those waves on the side of that ship was just a little different. Something. Somehow they read a message in the night that land was out there. Oh, you could have asked them, how do you know it? They couldn't have told you. They said, well, somehow there's just that feeling. That feeling that it's out there. One fellow said, you know, I sort of feel like we're getting close to the rocks. We'd better throw out the anchor. And they were so sure. They were so sure that they were getting close to land until they threw all the anchors out and stopped the ship and wished for daylight. Wish for the day to come. Do you see anything in that story? That's just a story. Just a Bible story. Just a few words from the ancient record. Men who sailed the Mediterranean long ago. But life is a voyage. I want us to look at it that way for just a moment now. Life is a voyage. We set sail, many of us, long ago. And we're sailing towards the sunset. Like Abraham, who left his home country long ago and went out, not knowing where he went. But the Lord said, Abraham, come out from among your kindred, and I'll take you to a land that you know not. Abraham went out not knowing where he went, but he followed God. Abraham never found that land. He found Canaan. He found the land of promise. He reached the land, and God said, Abraham, this is yours. I'm going to give it to you and to your children after you forever. But still Abraham never built a house. He never bought a piece of land. The only thing he bought was a burying ground for sale. I thought this morning as I came back home, begin to review the feelings and analyze my own feelings about this community. And I said, yes, the thing that makes it different, and incidentally, I'm at a different church every Sunday. Last Sunday morning I was down at Beaufort, just at the stepping off place, the end of South Carolina. And every Sunday I'm in a new pulpit, preaching to a new crowd, a different congregation. But I thought, what makes this different this morning? And I thought, this is home, that's why. And I think so much of it is so much home to me. Until over here to my left, I have a plot, a burying ground. This is where I want them to bring me at the last. My last journey will be here. My last trip will end here. For this body. But oh, not my soul, not me. Glory to God. I'll feel that I'm near another country, and I feel it this morning. Glory to God. There's another country. In ancient times, sailors had to depend on the wind to move their vessels. They had no motors. They only had the wind and the sails. They couldn't go in a straight line unless the wind was directly behind them. And that was often difficult. and very seldom true. There are certain wind currents that the old mariners discovered hundreds of years ago. Wind currents in the Atlantic and Pacific. They blow in certain directions and they follow these wind currents. The old sailors had to follow these currents, and they're water currents. The Gulf Stream, strange phenomenon that we do not understand, we cannot describe. But these wind currents on the sea were discovered early, and they were very important to the seagoing men. And of course, these old-time seamen had to guide their vessels with the sails and the wind determined. They'd go in a zigzag way. They'd turn their sails in certain ways that the wind, they could control the wind. It was marvelous what they could do with the wind. How they could set these sails and go in a certain direction. The wind, in fact, they could almost go into the wind by the way they would set these sails. An old poet said, one ship goes east and one goes west. The self-same wind blows both. It's not the gale, but the set of the sail that determines the way the ship goes. This morning, there are wind currents in the Christian life. There are great, strong wind currents that blow against us and threaten to capsize our tiny bark. But oh, my friends, if we know, and we can find in this book the way to set the sail. Glory to God. And one wind will blow one person down to hell and blow another on to that other country, that better land. The way we set the sails will determine the way the ship goes this morning. Glory to God. Which way are you headed? Which way are you sailing? There's another country out there. Are you sailing in the right direction? Are you? The Bible says that Abraham found Canaan, but he was not satisfied with Canaan. That he still looked for a better country. Paul writes in the 11th chapter of Hebrews that they that say such things declare plainly that they seek another country. Abraham never quite reached it. He lived in a tent all of his life, right on to the end. He never built a home. Lived in a tent. That's the type of a pilgrim. But when he reached the end, praise God, the Lord said, Abraham, your seed will be like the stars of the heavens for multitude. Paul said Abraham did not receive the promise, but he believed, and it was counted unto him for righteousness. Those old timers in the olden days, they knew when they were getting near to that other country. You recall Jacob when he was old and full of days, and he sensed that he was nearing another country. And he said, go bring me Joseph. The time of my departure is at hand. And Joseph came in. He said, Joseph, I'm getting ready to leave this world. And I'm going out to another country. But Joseph, bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. Take me back home. Take me back to Canaan, where Abraham buried Sarah. Take me back. Let me go back. Joseph, I want you to promise me that you'll take me back. It is said that off the coast of some of the Scandinavian countries years ago, those little villagers that made their living by the trade of the fishing trade would sail out early in the morning before daylight. They'd sail out into the sea to fish. Sometimes they'd get too far out, and the night would overtake them. And they had no lighthouse on the shore, no way to guide them. They had no compass in those far-off years. And it is said that when night would fall and those men had not returned in to the land from fishing, that their wives would go down to the seashore and build up fires and stand on the seashore and sing, so their husbands could hear them sing and see the light of the fire and guide their little fishing boat safe to land. I believe that when we near that other country, we'll see the light. Glory to God. And we'll hear the refrain of those singing saints. Praise God. They're there. I'm just as sure they're there this morning as I'm standing here behind this thing. We're living in tragic days. Our freedom is slipping away from us. The cold, icy hand of tyranny is clutching the very life out of us. And the night's getting darker and darker. The storm is getting worse. We look in vain for help. And we pick up the papers eagerly every morning and look for some line of hope, some word that will tell us that things are going to be better after a while, but the gloom thickens. The future gets darker and darker. But there are a few of us in this world of madness and corruption that in the midst of all this we deem that we're nearing another country. Praise God. You say, how do you know it? I don't know, but just somehow there's that feeling there. A feeling that only God can give us. If your ear has been tuned to better things, to voices that come to you from the other side, then you can hear today. And there's something different in the breeze that blows. There's a tone in the songs that we sing. There's a melancholy in the music. There's something in the very air about us. Something in the tone of everything that tells us that we're drawing near. Near. And we're nearer than we were yesterday. It isn't much farther. The journey's almost over. Someone mentioned the flowers in memory of Uncle Daniel this morning. I could almost hear him sing today with you as you lifted your voice in such clarion, thrilling tones. And I thought of when he laid dying. And then when he revived, his family came in and he sang that song, parts of it that he loved so well in his closing days. I'm on a happy journey, Canaan's peaceful land. I thought of that. Yes, he was so near. There's that phrase in it, I don't know when I'll get there, but I'm on my way. He was so near. We had no idea he was so near. But I think he deemed that he drew near to that country. There was a look in his face. There was a tone in his voice. The last months that he was with us. The way he sang. There was a glow in his countenance. He deemed it. He recognized it. He felt it inside. But he drew near. Glory to God. I don't think there's anything sad and lonely and no pathos that can invade our souls if we've lived close to God and went into the night. Some morning we wake up, or some night in the night we discover that we better cast anchor because we're almost there.
We're almost there. Glory to God. Do you feel that there's another country over there? Just out there. You can't see it. You don't know how many miles. You don't know how many hours. But don't you feel it? Praise God. I think of the scores of people through these 30-some years that I've been a Christian, into whose face I have looked as they lay across, and I've told them goodbye. But they're over there this morning. They're on that other side. And I'm getting close to that country. Hallelujah. Do you feel it today? If you don't feel the pull and tug of that other country in your soul, you better check your experience with God. It's a sad thing. There was a man who died in this country not too many years ago when I was a boy. But before he died, he said, "Lift me up, my feet's in fire. My feet are burning." Died without God. That's a sad thing. There are two countries out there. One where the wicked cease from troubling, where the weary at rest. And another where the worm dies not, and the fire is not quenched. Two countries. We're drawing nearer. And we're nearer to both of them than we were yesterday. God have mercy. Those men on the ship that Paul was on had a wreck. The next morning when day broke, the ship broke to pieces. But Paul and all the men on board the vessel landed safely on the island. A ship came by later and picked them up and took them to Rome. And Paul preached in Rome till the day of his execution. And the last day that he lived, he picked up his pen and wrote, "I am now ready to be offered up. The time of my departure is at hand." The country was right there, ready for him to step over. God bless you, is my prayer.